All right, today we're jumping into a really fascinating study with a title that gets straight to the point: the effect of barefoot morning walking on blood pressure in adults with hypertension.
So let's get right into it. Think about this for a second. Could the secret to lowering your blood pressure be literally right under your feet?
You know, to really get why this matters so much, we have to look at the sheer scale of the problem. We're talking about hypertension, or high blood pressure, and it affects a mind-boggling 30 to 45% of adults all over the world, YouTube. That's a huge number of people.
And here's the scary part. It's often called the silent killer. Why? Because you can have it for years and feel totally fine with no symptoms at all. But all that time, it's a huge risk factor for cardiovascular diseases, which, get this, are responsible for about a third of all deaths. So this is a really big deal.
So that really makes you wonder, right? Are there other ways to handle high blood pressure besides just medication? And that's exactly where the search for natural healing comes in.
Now, the study looks at a whole world of these kinds of approaches. You've got physical activity, yoga, relaxation, even acupuncture and Tai Chi. All great stuff. But the one we're really zoning in on today, the star of this particular study, is barefoot walking.
Okay, so it's one thing to have a theory, but how do you actually test it? Well, researchers went to a village called Mojorejo and set up an experiment with real people to see what would happen.
And the way they set up the study was just so straightforward and elegant. It was basically a 4-step plan. First, they measured everyone's initial blood pressure. Step 2, they had the participants walk barefoot for 30 minutes every single day. They kept this up for a whole month. And then, step 4, they measured their blood pressure again at the end. Simple as that.
Now, we're not talking about a huge group here, but it's very focused. The study followed 31 adults, and here's the key part. Every single one of them already had a history of hypertension. So this isn't a random sample. These are people who were living with the issue day in and day out.
All right, so they did this for a month straight. The big question is, what did they find? And I gotta tell you, the results were pretty astonishing.
Let's look at where things started. Before the experiment began, the picture was crystal clear. If you look at the data from Table 2 in the paper, literally every participant had diagnosed hypertension. We're talking almost 2/3 in Stage 1 and more than 1/3 in the more serious Stage 2. Okay, now fast forward 1 month. The changes, wow, it's just transformative. According to Table 3 in the paper, a huge majority, 67.7%, had improved so much they were now in the pre-hypertension category. Almost 20% got their blood pressure back to normal. And get this, nobody was left in that severe Stage 2 category. That is incredible.
But you might be thinking, okay, that's cool, but could it just be a fluke, a coincidence? Well, the data says absolutely not. Check out Table 5 from the paper. That p-value you see there, less than 0.001, is a scientist's way of saying these results are super significant. The odds of this happening by random chance are practically zero. This effect was real.
Okay, so we know it worked. The big question now is, how? What's the science behind something so simple making such a big difference?
Well, it seems like the secret lies in how barefoot walking talks to our nervous system. It helps to quiet down what's called the sympathetic nervous system. That's your body's fight-or-flight alarm system that's always on high alert. When you calm that system down, your blood vessels and arteries can finally relax and open up, which makes it way easier for your blood to flow. And that one simple change sets off this amazing domino effect in your body. Your heart can pump blood more easily and efficiently. Your circulation gets better. The study points out that stress hormones like cortisol can start to drop. Your whole body just finds this state of calm. And what's the end result? Your blood pressure comes down naturally.
Look, this research is just fantastic. But the most important part is what it means for you and your life, right? So let's talk about how you could actually join this barefoot walking movement and start taking your own steps towards better health.
Getting started is honestly as simple as it sounds, but the #1 rule is safety first. You want to find a nice, safe, soft spot, like some grass in a park or a clean, sandy beach, anywhere you know is free of sharp stuff. Start off with short, easy walks. This isn't about breaking a sweat, it's about a calm, leisurely stroll. And the biggest rule of all, just listen to your body.
And you know what? You don't have to figure this out all by yourself. There's a fantastic community called the Barefoot Walking National Movement Headquarters over on Neighbor Cafe. It's a great spot to connect with other people, share all kinds of information, and just be part of a community that's exploring this amazing healing practice.
So we've looked at the science, we've seen the incredible results from this study, and now the last question is really just for you. Is this simple, powerful practice something you could see yourself adding to your life?
Hey, if you got something valuable out of this deep dive into barefoot walking and blood pressure, it would mean the world to us if you'd support the channel. Go ahead and subscribe, give this a like, and turn on those notifications. We'll see you next time with another explainer on the science of well-being. Thanks so much for watching.